Namaskar. This is my second video. I'm just continuing with my previous video which I started, and again I'll try to give more insights about this rebirth concept, and I'll try to dwell with respect to Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, because I think that is a classic example where people can correlate and understand better. We should understand that any religion that originated in India, okay, always believed in rebirth, whereas um, Abrahamic religions do not believe in that for various reasons, which I do not want to go into that. Now, let us take the case of your people, like most important characters in the Mahabharata. Karna, Arjuna, Subhadra, Dushasana. They all made a or played a role in Ramayana. That's the reason they each one had some sort of a specific role to be played in Mahabharata also. So people have a lot of sympathy for Karna because though he was talented, he could not reach to the height which he could have because of his bad luck and other things. Okay, I'll basically dwell into each of the characters in Ramayana and Mahabharata, and I'll explain more about your concept of rebirth and other things. Okay, Ramayana and Mahabharata specifically deals with this, and even Rama and Krishna also to a major extent has this concept rebirth, but Vishnu is not immune to anything. So, okay, so Vishnu doesn't have anything with respect to concept of rebirth. It's only for him to show to the world. Okay? So don't just get confused. Okay, even Vishnu also faced this, just to show it to the world. So I'll take it that as the last chapter. Um, but I'll explain about about this rebirth concept with your Karna, because people very fond of him. See, people always think Karna was shot when he was in a very helpless position. Okay, but the truth is, in Ramayana, before the fight was supposed to happen between Vali and Sugriva, okay, Rama asks him, okay, Rama asks Vali what he should be doing with Sugriva. Vali says, sorry, Sugriva says, shoot him, kill him. Okay. He didn't say he is my brother, just try to protect him also, so that at the end of the day we get normalized relationship. But he said, just kill him. When we are fighting, you identify with the garland and just kill him. Okay. So Rama did the same thing, and see what happened in Mahabharata. Karna was in helpless position, and Krishna used same Arjuna, who was actually Vali in his previous birth, to shoot that arrow to Karna. Okay, so now here Karna was in a helpless position, and Krishna made Arjuna to shoot an arrow and kill him. So even Devas are not immune to this. They need to undergo certain roles. Okay, so that's one classic case. And second case, if you should say, right, why Wali was Arjuna, Krishna was so fond of Arjuna and other things. So again, Arjuna was basically a Wali in his previous birth, and after Rama shot an arrow at Wali, okay, Rama went to meet Wali and said to Wali that he would like to take back the arrow from Wali. Okay, for that Wali replies, "I would die in your honorable feet, but please don't take away the arrow or don't recoil the arrow, because Rama's arrow strength should be such that once it is left, it should be complete its task. So if you recall the arrow, then it becomes a black mark. I would prefer to die." Okay. So in fact, he was also some sort of a fond of Rama also, but he did few other mistakes which I'll take it sometime later. Okay. So in the next birth, okay, even though he was given an option to come back again, Wali did not choose that. He would prefer to die. So Krishna ensured that Arjuna is always with him. And remember, Arjuna was also a very, very strong devotee. So, in one case, what happened, right? Narada comes and asks Arjuna, Krishna, why you are so fond of Arjuna? So, Krishna says to Narada, okay, see, Arjuna is sleeping, okay, in his room. Just go to his room and come. So, when Narada went inside the room, he could hear Krishna's words somewhere coming around. So, he was looking here and there, but he could not make out. So he comes out of the room and asks Krishna again. When I went into the room, Arjuna was sleeping, but still I could hear your name being chanted. So Krishna says, even in his birth, his subconscious mind is such that it is always chanting my name. Okay? So that was his devotion towards Krishna. Now let us stick to this concept of rebirth. Okay, Trijata. Okay, you know that she was guarding the Sita in Ramayana. Okay, and she was born again as a Subhadra, to as a sister to Krishna. So that is the devotion she had towards Rama and Vishnu, right? So Vishnu gave an opportunity. Right? She was a sister to Krishna, and where again Abhimanyu and other people were born. So this is another example of Ramayana to Mahabharata rebirth concept. With one of the important character next is Dushasana. Dushasana was an Indrajit in his previous avatar. He was again born as a Dushasana in Mahabharata time. Okay, that is in Dwapara. Then the question comes, why he was supposed to be reborn? Because if Vishnu required or Vishnu felt that let us not make him to reborn again, then he would not have born at all. But that not is the case. What happens, right? There is a certain degree of freedom to each of the soul. Okay. So that if until the soul fulfills its desires, or if it recognizes that it is not possible, till that time that rebirth is happening. Okay. So still that Indrajit had the desire for revenge. Okay. So that made him to be born again as a Dushasana. Okay. So this where the concept comes. Okay, soul's desires. Okay, it can be in a good term or it can be a bad term also. And very interestingly, Indrajit basically gave a basically shot a Brahmastra arrow to Hanuman and basically made him as a prisoner and took him. It was same Hanuman who was born as a Bhima killed Dushasana, who was basically Indrajit. So it goes back to a long story. This how the concept of I'm just giving an example of rebirth concepts, and if you take the another example, okay, Rama and Krishna. See there again, Rama, he had only one wife, and he could not basically uh, or his kids could not grow up along with his father when they were young. Many reasons were there, right? But just take the case of Krishna. He had many wives and he had all the children growing up with him itself, means along with him. In the sense, when I say along with him, I would rephrase the statement. Right from their childhood, the Krishna was with them. Okay, whereas in Ramayana it was not the case. Rama was, when Lavakusha was born, he was outside, he was in capital Ayodhya, so they grew up in ashram. But It was not in the case in Mahabharata. It was basically Krishna brought them up, okay, right from their childhood. Okay, so he had all the sons in front of him during their early years, whereas in Ramayana, Rama did not have any of his sons during their early years. So we had, and don't get confused or don't get misunderstand. Okay, even this concept of rebirth is applicable to Rama and Rama, Krishna and other things. They don't have this concept. It's just only to show to the people, okay, how the things goes, okay? And Parvati, Parvati is another example, okay? In her, she was a Dakshayani in her previous birth, okay? So, in her previous birth as a Dakshayani, she had a father who was always, ill-treating her husband. But just see, when she was born as a reborn as a Parvati, she had a father who was very, very, very affectionate to her and her husband. Okay, so as I said, this concept of birth and rebirth is basically is applicable to many, even to devas also. Okay, so it just doesn't happen. I pray and it happens to that. So there, it all depends on as an human beings. We have a lot of karmas associated with that. We need to go through that. So again, let me come back to this question of rebirth in our cases. Why do we rebirth? Basically for two reasons or three reasons. One, when we have done very good karma, or when we have done very bad karma, or 50-50, or your soul is full of desires. Okay. So the question comes, why do you want to, uh, in the sense, when we have already suffered enough in Narkaloka, why we want to come back again? Okay. So I just give me a minute. I'll just show you some sort of a small uh, Word document which I have written, so which can help you to your best extent. Okay, I'm just sharing that. Okay. Let me see whether I'm able to see that.